What's up, Kuchuroites? We are here with the first of our G-Fest recap videos. So we'll probably do a breakdown of each day, and obviously my costume parade, I'll do that as its own video. As you know, has been my most popular video of all time, was the one I made last year. So hopefully we'll see if we can acquire that same lovely magic. So it's been a kind of a weird week for me. So before Tuesday, if I can even see if I can show that, it's gonna be nasty. I had surgery. I need to polysporin it up some more. I've been trying to just took the Band-Aid off. Oh, there we are. There we go. Yes, I had a cancerous mole removed. It's a weak cancer. It's the basal cell carcinoma, which they said is the most common and weakest form that doesn't spread and rarely causes any death. Says he's got it all. He said the doc claims he's got it all out, and I just need to heal up my stitches. So we survived that to make it to G-Fest, baby, because nothing was keeping me from G-Fest 29. So, recap my day. So a lot of, obviously can't go to every panel. So first, we got up there Thursday. We left Thursday to get there a night early. Got there like a little before 5, which meant we were lucky enough that we were, because there's pre-registration till 5:30. So first thing I said we did was, we just parked straight in the parking lot. Before we even checked in the hotel, we went straight down there and registered, because that line was so long to the next day. So that saved us probably a good hour or so of time right there just by getting there pre-registered. We walked up and got it pre-registered in like 5 minutes. Got my... Where are you? My G-Fest pass. Which, by the way, it's 29, so it's XIX, which means I have to go next year so I can get a badge that says G-Fest XXX. So, the G-Fest, the porn edition. That's probably no word. So we did that. Then we checked into our hotel. To go to the review. I made sure I got us a nice one with a view. It has a view of the parking garage, but hey, it's got a balcony. So that's what mattered, right? Is getting that balcony. Last year they had special Godzilla movie screenings at a nearby theater for, but yeah, it was an add-on fee, wasn't included, so we didn't do it last year, and we kind of felt left out because there were some big events. So we decided to do it this year because we went to a double feature of the 40th. Is it 40 already? 40th anniversary of Godzilla 1984. Godzilla Returns, Return of Godzilla. Not Godzilla 1985. We didn't have that version. Although I have found that version on YouTube. So I can technically watch that. That's when the version's kind of been lost, everything. But we found it. I found it. But it was that and Space Godzilla, which... Yay, Space Godzilla. But, so this was the Pickwick Theater here. So it was nice, cool, little old-fashioned. Seats were a little ran down, but they were comfortable. Reminds me of a theater in my area. I live in the Cincinnati area. So a little rinky-dink theater as a kid I used to go to every now and then, get to see the cheap movies for like $2. Called the Marianne Theater in Bellevue, Kentucky. So shout out to my boys in Bellevue. So we went and saw the movies. It was my uncle's first time actually seeing the Japanese version of that movie. He's only seen the American Dr. Pepper cut, we'll call it. He's always, because I'm a lot higher when we rank their movies. I'm always higher on this movie than he is, and I didn't mind the 1985 cut, but I got the Blu-ray of the Japanese version. As soon as I saw it offered, I bought it. So now it's become supposedly hard to find, or a lot more expensive. I got it for like maybe $20 or so. So I got to show you, like, dude, you gotta see, and they have a new American dub version on there too, which we'll talk about that later. Actually, it's going to come up here in a minute because I was wrong about something there. So we saw the movie. That was cool. We'll get to that movie too. So the next day we got to do some panels. The first panel we went to was the 40 years. Oh, did I say 50 before 40? Whatever it was I said. The 40 years of the return of Godzilla. So the interesting thing is, I kind of figured like Toho just buried that 1985 American cut, and don't want to see the light of day. But supposedly that's not the issue. The guy who did the music, which there might be some controversy about the music, that suppose there's something, he may have stole the music or so. But because of him, that's why that cut's been kind of can't come out, because I guess rights to the music. Like, dude, how much could you possibly be asking for that, for royalties for that movie? I'm assuming it's like, dude, when any money's good money, you're not gonna whatever. Or if there might be something else with it. So something about the music, though, this and the music, this composer that put in the music has caused the reason why that movie's mostly disappeared. The Return of Godzilla Blu-ray, which came with a new American dub, supposedly was the original American English dub that was put on the movie and showed in some other countries, that the American studio didn't like and didn't want to use, so that's why they remade a new one. But so this dub disappeared this is the one that got disappeared for a while. No one could find it, and finally they found it. Got a hold of it, and they were able to put it on the Blu-ray that came out, which is really cool. So when the American did it, they kind of wanted to make it Godzilla, silly monster. He's supposed to be super comic. They wanted to make it comedy. And the only saving grace was when they decided to bring in Raymond Burr back. And Raymond Burr refused. This famous stuff, I already knew this before a lot of this. Refused to treat the movie as a comedy because Raymond Burr is a huge Godzilla fan. He loves Godzilla. Godzilla helped make his career. And he loved everything Godzilla stood for. So he was like, no, you're taking it serious. So the little bit of parts of seriousness in the Americanized version of that movie is because of him. And the only problem with losing that version is his monologue, which he wrote himself, at the end of that movie is absolutely fantastic. It's mwah. I mean, amazing dialogue, amazing monologue that he put at the end of that movie. So, but yeah, a lot of cool. They talked, so obviously we learned a lot about, talked about that movie, and now they made an animatronic giant face. They made a 10-foot tall animatronic one, but they ended up only really using that mostly for promotional stuff, because it was only using the movie for close-ups of the head. So, and then something I wasn't surprised by, but I was totally interested in this, is Jaws versus Japan, the Kaiju Sharksploitation. As we know on this channel, technically, until recently, I've only had one episode of it, but I always kept talking about doing my shark movie tier list, and we also know I'm working on I do cover shark, recaps of Shark Week and stuff, so I love my sharks. So, them doing a whole thing about shark monster movies was a must-go-to for me. I guess I should give a shout-out. Do I got the people who give me the people that put that together? It doesn't give me that on here. Because they would give me the people that covered it. Does it? So the history of the giant shark is a movie monster focusing on depictions and places of aquatic predator and some of the people, the shark Wannabes. Oh, this is Alex Rushby did this. Return of Godzilla. Do I have their names? Brandon Morley, Daniel Diama, which I can't say his name. Sorry, Morna. Seen him a lot. He showed up in a lot of them. Nathan Merchant, and Yuri. I'm messing up names there. Sorry, guys. Not even Japanese names, and I'm messing them up. So I'll show some of the slides. I took pictures of everything because this is giving me movie information here. And can I make that bigger? Maybe not. I'd like to make that a little bigger for you guys, but so we first covered this Jaws 1969 manga of a giant shark. So everybody thinks Jaws looks at Jaws as the movie that made shark, is what put the shark movies on the map. But before that, the typical ocean monster was a Godzilla-like thing, or a kraken, or typically a lot of people use a giant octopus, which was what Godzilla was originally going to be. First thought was him making him an octopus. But there were some, sharks that popped up from time to time, like Shirnuo and Doro. So get a Japanese manga. I don't think we'll cover that on the channel. So this is another manga. The one dude has a hair that turns into a shark. So I think that may have been this may have been turned into maybe an animated series. Don't know if we can get our hands on that. This dealt with like shark-like creatures, like shark-like robots. And can't believe I never noticed this before, but Zigra from Gamer vs. Zigra in 1971 is completely based off a goblin shark. They pointed that out, and I was like, oh, hell. Yeah, I didn't recognize that. And there's some other mangas. This was a Jaws manga. Jaws made into a manga form, supposed to be really violent. I wouldn't mind checking that out if I can find that. That would be kind of cool. Then we cover some of the Jaws ripoffs that came out. And some of these movies were already on my list. I've heard of before, but some of these are kind of new. Obviously, Barracuda I've heard of. Piranha is a classic. Funny story about that is, I think it was Universal, this Jaws, tried to block that movie. They actually went after that movie. They tried and claim it as copyright because it was completely, it was a bunch of ripoffs. And Steven Spielberg was like, no. It's a parody. Let it go. It's cool. I like that. So Steven Spielberg is actually why that movie came out, because he didn't believe in holding it back. The Jaws of Death, never heard of that one. Have to look that up, see what that's about. Tintaro? Killer Shark, never heard of that. Last Shark, heard of that, that's on the list. Up from the Depths, that's a new one for me. Great White Death, Shark Hunter, I've heard of a different Shark Hunter before. Devilfish, I think I've seen that before. Looks like we have a couple alligators. Alligator's obviously a famous old movie. Eaten Alive looks like another alligator crocodile type movie. What is this one? Killer Fish. So that is on the list for the Shark tier. And got a couple other guys that we could probably add to the list there. A couple other interesting ones. Orca's obviously a famous one with a killer whale, so I have that on Vudu. The Deep was a movie based off of Peter Benchley's next book that he made. Obviously, Peter Benchley, the author of Jaws. And then Tentacles was another popular movie. This is actually the art from this guy would go on to do the Heisei movie art, poster art. So it's not Japan without some tentacles. I don't think any of those will make it. Obviously, unless I expand the Shark tier list eventually to other animals. Then we had another popular comic anime where a bunch of people tagged up to take on a shark-like monster, an ocean monster. Now here's something I gotta look up for other reasons: The Legend of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds. So it was pretty much about a plesiosaur and some kind of pterosaur. I'm not sure from what they're going for with it there. Looks like a giant Rhamphorhynchus. So that's like the only dinosaurs in it. They're not even dinosaurs. Totally got to find that. I totally love to find that because I love plesiosaurs. Bermuda Deaths was about a giant turtle. Crocodile Fangs, so we got a crocodile movie. So it was a cool show. And then obviously we got some shark movies here, like the Megalodon series. Yeah, I can't make out some of these names. Oh, wow, my picture's so bad. Something Jaws. Oh, these are like Japan movies that kind of ripped off other ones, like Megalodon, Sharknado, a multi-headed shark attack. So they're like kind of knocking off Asylum movies there. Obviously, then shark movies kind of went quiet until Deep Blue Sea, which was going to be episode 2 of the shark movie tier list. That had to be put off for a little bit. That'll be my next one. Came out, but Murder in the Deep Blue Sea. It's an animated movie. There's a shark in it named King Caesar for Godzilla fans. We'll have to see if, that one I might look into. Then they went into how the sci-fi movie became, just pumped out the shark movies left and right. Everyone always thinks that whole craze started with, obviously, Sharknado, but it actually started with the Mega Shark series. So, of course, they had a couple shark movies they did before that. Dark Waters, I think I've heard of that. Hammerhead, I'm not sure of that. Sharks in Venice, I've heard of that. Shark Swarm, I've heard of that. But then they started doing the verses, so they did the Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. The trailer got more reviews online than James Cameron's Avatar because it became Asylum's first theatrical movie, instant franchise, because the giant shark leapt out of the water and snagged a 747. That was like, miles in the air. But then this would go to the Two-Headed Sharks, Planet of the Sharks, we've heard of those, Megalodon, the Sharktopus from Roger Corman, which is definitely on my list. I love Sharktopus. I found out really cool. So I got that. Sharknadoes, obviously. So that led to like the whole run of the cheap shark movies. So Mega Shark, you had Giant Octopus, Crocosaurus, Mecha Shark, and Colossus. So they totally went the Godzilla route. He ended up taking on robots versions of himself and then another big robot. So those will be we'll probably do all those together. Then we had this cool thing about some other movies we could check out, but the U.S. title of the movies compared to the Japanese title. As you can see, they kind of have a similar theme. Since copyright works different in Japan, you could use the term Jaws a lot easier. Avalanche Shark is Ice Jaws. Atomic Shark is Shin Jaws. Alien vs. Jaws. Jaws King of the Monsters. Jaws Attack 2. Panic Killer Jaws 5. Last Shark, so they like to make sure they threw Jaws on there. So from that, so we got some more movies to check out here. Jersey Shore Shark Attack, Raiders of the Shark Ark. Swamp Shark, I didn't know that one. Avalanche, Malibu Shark, that stuff. So more shark movies for me so to keep it taps on. So there we're gonna have lots of shark movies. And then some Chinese shark movies, since obviously the Megalodon movies, which are super popular, were made in partnership with China. So they're more, that's why if you know the books, which I have read a lot of the novels, there's Japanese people, Japanese members in the book that were changed to Chinese because it was made in China, and those guys don't like each other much. So we also got some more Snow Monster and Land Sharks. I've heard of that. Land Shark, Red Water. That's one I've seen before. And then movies that they're including a remake of Sharktopus. That is definitely something I'm going to keep an eye out. Supposedly that came out in 23, I'm going to assume. So I got to see if that's exists. And then it's a Japanese movie called Psycho Shark. which what I understand is the shark shows up at the end. He looks super cheesy as hell. And most of the movie is 98% of the movie is two girls in bikinis. So touch Japan. Sure, we'll cover that. Yeah, I have no problem covering that. Another manga with sharks that grow legs and stuff. So that's interesting. There's a movie made for it, so we'll try and find that. Another one where we have like looks like street sharks. So keep an eye. I think that was like just a episode of the show, maybe they had that one in it. Or I have to find out more about that. Then I found out that Tokyo has an international shark film festival. So now I guess that happens there at the same time as God G Fest, unfortunately. But now I got even more reasons to go to Japan. I want to go to the Shark Film Festival, baby. That would be awesome. Game of Shark. This one looks really kind of messed up. They make shark figures for some of these movies, which I'd love to find a Sharktopus figure. That would be awesome. Then we have another series of movies. Because I already got on my list like Ghost Shark and House Shark and some of that stuff. So supposedly they made a well shark, where a shark that would attack people through laundry machines and wells and stuff like that. It then goes on to Love Shark, where the shark falls in love with a woman. Which goes Last Shark. So he fights a crocodile man. And Shark of the Dead. So, yeah, we gotta... Those are gonna be fun to find. This one I've heard about, and I didn't know what his name was, and it's on Netflix. So, Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead is a zombie movie. I've actually seen the clip. It's a bunch of zombies. They go to an aquarium, a bunch of zombies fall in the shark tank. The shark eats them, turns it into a zombie. Then the zombie feet come out of the bottom of the shark, and the shark's able to walk around and chase people. So we got lots of bad shark movies. Ninja vs. Shark. Hot Spring Shark Attack. So, Killer Sharks in Another World. So supposedly, I think this is a comic manga, I believe. And they do... Kid has powers where you can, like, summon movie sharks. So you can summon Jaws, the Three-Headed Shark Attack, Mecha Shark, Sharknado, the Meg. So, that's a cool little manga. Alright, then that was into that. So, like I said, we got a lot of interesting stuff to add to the shark movie tier list watching. God, where do you keep switching days? I think that's where we had our lunch break, where I had a little breather. And I think this is where this is where I kind of was able to finally get in the vendor's room, because that line was always ridiculous, and it even would get worse as the day went on. So it's... So my main goal at G-Fest was there's a certain figure I wanted to get one of, because they're hard to find, and usually when I do find them, someone selling them like $60, $80, and I got a new job, but I haven't it's making more money, but it doesn't feel like I'm making more money, but I haven't spanked up enough money. So what I mostly wanted was a Godzilla -1 figure. Nice little tail on him. So that was my most get. As any of these kind of things, other things are super overpriced. So this was $40, which is pretty much like the going right for. I think so. I did see someone selling the same thing for like $30, so I could have saved $10 if I waited a little bit. But usually $30 to $50 is the typical normal figures. Then there's like the special weird color figures that for some reason is super popular. People love to buy those. Not really my thing. Going all the way up to like the bigger high-end figures like the Monster Arts figures. They had I didn't know how much they were charging, but I did see the Space Godzilla one. Where there was a Monster Arts Space Godzilla that I thought that came out a while back that I thought was looked amazing. I do have a Ghidorah on the way from who was making this. I pre-ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm not sure when that's supposed to release, but I can't remember who made it. It's a really cool looking Ghidorah figure. So I got that, and then I went a little shirt shopping. Of course, I'm going to drop the shirts when I grab them. So I needed some G shirts. Then we're a couple on the comical side here. So we got Mothra being led away from the city by helicopters dragging a bug light. So that was cool. And a nice city destroyed with the old 0 days without Godzilla, like the 0 days without incident shirts. And the reason I got those because there was a deal: you buy one shirt, it's $25, and every other shirt after that was $22. And they didn't charge more for us fat shirts for fat guys. Like there was another T-shirt vendor. I thought about getting some really, nicer shirts on, but they were like an extra $10 for my fat ass size. So I was like, yeah, I'm not paying $35 for a shirt. So the reason I got one from this one is because of this shirt here. Awesome looking little Biollante shirt. So that was pretty sweet. So I was like, I gotta get the Biollante shirt. So now I was like, all right, let's see if there's a few other shirts. So then I was like, all right, I like these other two shirts, so I'll go with those. So that's what I bought on Friday. And there's this one, they get a lot of same vendors back. And there's a vendor last year, they make like really big figures. They're still plastic, but they're like really fancy detailed figures. Last year they had an awesome Kiru. This year they had a big Godzilla -1 was like $600. Like, no, can't, no. I'd love to go in there and spend like less money. So we'll cover more about that. So that's what I bought Friday. And we're back to review. So after lunch and after doing a little shopping, we went back to panels. So we haven't got to this one yet. So I guess we won't put that one up yet. We can just keep the chatting. I did bring for some reason I brought a cold back. My nose is running. I don't know where the hell that came from. Chicago is pretty warm. Cincinnati's pretty warm. So I don't know how the hell I caught a cold. So we opted to go to one called The Female Leads of Toho Films. So really interesting because I thought it was gonna like go deep into like some of the talk about some of the like the female leads in some of the movies, like oh god, I can't say her name. My girl from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla girl. I met her last year. Cute as a butt, man, but she is so gorgeous. Something with you. I never follow her on Instagram. Well, that didn't work well. Yuki. Yeah. But, thought maybe her. Could cover the female actress that's the lead of GM1 or GMK. Or maybe some of the, or some of the more powerful ladies. And it'd be just like 3 females just kind of just doing female pride stuff, which is cool and all, but that's kind of was wanting. It's kind of hoping to be like more depth to like some of the female actresses and stuff like that. Talking about it, just talking about. Well, this one felt empowered because she was so cool and hot. Yeah, but The person I was with definitely was not what their cup of tea. That was what they were afraid. I mean, I don't. Women empowerment. I'm cool with it. I don't worry. But I was kind of wanting that to be a little bit more. So that one was kind of a disappointment. They be something more in depth than I got. Then we had our first Godzilla -1 panel. Don't tell me who it was. So just talking about all the big stuff around Godzilla -1. How awesome, how the awards it won, and that a Godzilla movie got best special effects in best Oscar for special effects. They went over, talked about it. It's just good to talk about like the cast of the movie, how well they performed, and how they made it more believable. They took a few shots at the MonsterVerse, which people can do that. They're different movies. They're meant to do two different things. I can make a whole video talking about that. I think I've already done that a few times. Actually, is this the dystopia people have towards that, and they're totally different things, and it's okay. But so that was really cool. Not as much -1 stuff as you would think. I think there was only one more panel that happened for -1. That was on Sunday. Thought they would talk about -1 a little bit more. Then we get to the one that we are showing a picture of right here is Godzilla versus who? So talking about a lot of Godzilla's crossovers. I don't know. I don't think a lot of my pictures worked for this one. Oh, they're working. So Godzilla has so he has crossed over with Ultraman back in here. They did a festival with Ultraman and the guys, and they all fought Ghidorah. He crossed over with Gamera way back in the day, did some stuff with Gamera. He's obviously crossed over with Charles Barkley. He's done Gigabash. He's crossed over with Marvel. He's currently, I think that just wrapped up, crossed over with DC. Power Rangers. So I'm just saying, everybody likes to get a little Godzilla in there. They covered a whole bunch of other Japanese stuff that I wasn't familiar with. I think there was even a Hello Kitty in there. So that was a cool, fun battle. Just seeing like everybody getting a little piece of Godzilla. So I thought that was fun. A game that I don't know if it would work because it's a Japanese game, so I don't know if you technically could use it or not. But I've always heard about this game, City Shrouded in Shadows, even though he doesn't technically cross over with anyone. It's about trying to escape a city while something big's going on. And there's one level of Godzilla, one level is Ultraman fighting. So I think I believe there's a camera. Is there a camera in there maybe? I'm not sure if there's a camera level or not. So I don't know if it would work if it would play on my PlayStation 5. I would love to play it, but I'm not sure. I don't think it will. I think there's something that will block a Japanese game from playing on the system. Then we ran into, obviously you see the cosplayers running around, and this obviously we'll cover more in the costume party, especially how amazing this costume actually ended up being. Last year there was a guy with a very awesome kind of Mechagodzilla. And this guy, though, he just went straight full out. It looks just like the 70s movie. Really, really impressive. And then we also had not too shabby guy in there. So. And so. So from there, what else before I went to my dinner break? So they have a festival where they play some movies. Usually there are some older movies, and then some people make sure there's some real low budget new movies. So there was 2 shark movies playing, and at first I heard about this movie during the shark, the Jaws versus Japan. So I was like, well, and then I saw a picture, like the movie poster of it, and then a picture of the shark in it, and I was like, I gotta go see this movie. So the first movie I went and saw was Kaiju Glam. Metal Shark Attack. That shark looks kind of cool. Yeah, he don't look anywhere that good. So this is obviously, I don't even know who supposedly made this. It's super low budget, but we made a quick, I decided to make an impromptu shark movie tier list video, which is already on the channel. I posted that over the weekend. So it took forever to upload. I quickly learned that my hotel internet Wi-Fi was worse than just using my regular cell phone Wi-Fi. So absolutely train wreck of a movie. As I was expecting it to be. It would have been, it could at least kept its comedy, if like I said in my videos, if it was shorter. The other movie I saw that night was Megalodon with Michael Madison. Didn't do a video on that because I'm pretty sure that's a sequel. I think there's like 3 of those. So I figured we'd cover that again in time with the whole all of them together. Better quality. It's a Asylum movie, I believe. So definitely they'll step up in quality from this. It's pretty bad. But Asylum is a step up in quality. Another thing we quickly learned. So if you do go to G-Fest, which I recommend if you're a G fan, you should definitely do it. Don't get tricked into eating at the hotel. Because it is expensive as shit in there. So last year we kind of got by with buying food and breakfast from the hotel store instead of the hotel restaurant. And they were, high, but they were a little better price. Well, this year, I think it was lunch we went there, and I got like a cheeseburger. It was like $10 for the cheeseburger. It was like okay cheeseburger. It wasn't like... But as we learned, it's better to you can bring some stuff that you get a fridge. So you can bring some like snacks, drinks, something you can make in the morning to eat for like some kind of breakfast stuff. Then or bread. I was up bread, peanut butter and jelly, make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But then when you want to go out to eat, I mean, obviously you could always have it something Uber or DoorDash. There's a good Italian place nearby that will supposedly would deliver, but when we went to order for dinner, it wouldn't deliver, so we had to go pick it up. And then we explored a little further, and we found like there's a whole bunch of restaurants not too far within driving distance. Not far. There's Chipotle, Panda Express, which we did eat at. Fridays, a couple of McDonald's, Taco Bell, Outback, Longhorn. So you got a good mix. So do recommend because right around where you're at, the hotels, it doesn't look like there's anything around. Just go explore a little bit. You'll find better priced food options. That's the only PSA I'll give. The hotel, it's like that was that. Then they have like a little restaurant where you can buy food, and that was we didn't even look at the prices this year. Last year was like a $30 burger or something like that. So yeah, so if you want to buy stuff from the vendor store, you gotta save some cash. So find cheap food is always the best way to do it. So that was night one. So I won't mention that. I'll cover more about the vendor store later, but these are the only things I bought. Was a figure, a couple shirts. Thought about getting some more figures, but I think I could probably find some. I mean, I wasn't in a big rush to get some of these guys. I think a lot of them I could probably find on Amazon for a cheaper price than they were offering. So I guess I want to get something big, a big ticket item, which is obviously gotta probably get there early for. But if I want to get something cooler, then I might take some more cash with me, so I have the room to make something cooler. Which maybe we'll look at that. Maybe try to find something, go more fancier next year on something. But I got my GM1 figure, which was my goal, is to get him. Definitely could use some collections. Last year, I don't know if I didn't really make a video on what I bought last year. Didn't post a lot of it. All I made was like I was going to make a lot more videos. I never got around to it. So last year, I got them all right here, actually. We got an Anguirus figure, which is easy to find. So I probably didn't need to buy it there. Oops. Showa Ghidorah, because I do love my Ghidorah. So I had to get him. If if I can grab it. Alright, everybody's gonna fall. In Hedorah, the small monster. I bought these 3 figures there last year. I think they were, for the most part, I think 40, and I think I got maybe one of them for like 30 or something like that. Somebody gave me, I think, a deal after buying a couple of them. And then the cats, like I said, you pay 40 for those. Then I got these guys I found on Amazon for like low 20s. So those are a weird figure, hard figure to find. Like there's an Ebra, but it's just all Ebra is just a giant lobster. A Jet Jaguar and Minya, so those would be cool ones. There was one venue, they're a little pricier. They had Godzilla Jr. and Baby. It's like those ones wouldn't be. Those would be kind of cool. I think they were like 50 or 60 or something like that, though. So yeah, it's definitely expensive. So you need some cash if you want to get stuff from the vendor store. Like, so I did go back in the vendor store, which we'll cover that on the next video. But spoiler alert: these are the only things I bought was the shirts and this figure. Now, I do have 2 other things I will show from when I did my Saturday video. So there was a couple of things I did get to bring home. I think one was Saturday, one was Sunday. Actually, now I think about it, but those are the things I really bought from the vendor room. So, like the thing I wanted the most, so I'm happy with that. All right, so that wraps up Friday G-Fest. So we'll make Saturday videos next, and keep an eye out for the costume parade video, as well as the Sunday video. Till next time, Kachoro out.